Hello, today we're going to be going over lesson number 11 for YLOC worksheets. Okay, we're going to be going over some simple concepts just so that you guys can remember what we did before. So function notation, we're going to have 1, 2, 3, and 4 functions. Remember, these are all different functions identified by their varying letter H, F. Okay. So they're asking us to find g of 2. Now, which of these equations start with the g? Which signifies which type of which function we're going to be using? Well, we can see that this is the g function. So we look for the g function. Here it is. So we know that g function is represented by 2x plus 1. But since there is a value inputted, which is 2, we can replace the x with the number 2. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is equal to 5. And that's your answer. Let's try h3. Now, where is the h function? Well, it's this one. So what I do is just negative times negative x plus 3. Since 3 is our input, we replace the x with negative 3 plus 3. Negative 3 plus 3 is just 0, and that's our answer. Moving on. Now let's try this one. 5j2. What does our j equation look like? Well, it looks like this. 100 divided by x squared. So, since there is a coefficient before this function, we write it as 5 times 100 over x squared. Now, what is our x? It's 2 in this equation, so we can replace that x with 2. Now you have 5 times 100 over 4. If you simplify, you get 25. If you simplify 100 over 4, you get 25. And that will equal 25 times 5, which is equal to 125. Moving on. Let's try 2h8. So what is our... Actually, let's try an f equation. f4. What is our f function? Well, our f function is x plus 5. Simple enough. So we input the 4 since that is our x value, and what we can say is x plus 5 since that is our equation. Since we know what the value of x is, we can just replace it with 4, which is equal to 9. And that is our answer. Moving on. Now we're going to be going over negative and 0 exponents. Whenever you have an exponent that is to the 0th power, it's always just going to equal 1. The value is always just 1. Whenever you have a value with a negative n, you're always going to be writing the reciprocal of whatever the base is. So, in this case, what is the reciprocal of a to the nth power? Well, that's just whatever multiplied equals just 1. Well, that's just 1 over a to the nth power. And that's your answer, 1 over a to the nth. Let's actually apply this concept. Now you have 3 to the negative 2nd power. What's the reciprocal of 3 squared? Well, that's just 1 over 3 squared, which is just 1. So if we write that out, 3 negative to the negative 2nd power is equal to 1 over 3 squared, which is 1 over 9. And that is our answer. Negative 7 to the 0th power is just 1. Now, this parenthesis is very important. Since your exponent is categorizing the entirety of -7, the entirety of -7 is just going to equal 1. However, if there wasn't a parentheses that included this negative, your answer would be -1 if it was just -7 to the 0th power. This parentheses tells you that this negative and this 7 are included in this exponent. Okay, moving on. Now you have 6 to the -4th times 6 to the 4th. Now remember, you can add these two exponents since their bases are the same. So 6 to the -4 plus 4, what is that? Just 6 to the 0th power. Anything to the exponent of 0 is just 1. Okay, and let's just try one more problem. 2xy to the 5th power. Well, that's just 2/5, x to the 5th, and y to the 5th. Like you're distributing the exponent to each of the factors. So 2 to the 5th, well, that's just 32. X to the 5th and y to the 5th. And that's your answer. That's it for this lesson today. I hope you have a wonderful day.